Welcome back. We are working on a clutch this time. It's an oversized clutch because it's really big. But this one has a Velcro on it. The one I'm going to do, you guys have seen me do Velcro on a lot of the other projects. So the one I'm going to do today is actually going to be a little button snap closure on it. And also this is not lined with any like hardening material like a lot of clutches have. You are welcome to get that like thicker bag making interfacing and put that between your layers. Since we are using the section of the Obi that is already has the seam on the one side, you'll open it up, slide your stuff inside there, your stuffing, your interfacing. If you need to iron it on, iron it on. Then after we've finished closing this edge, you can sew the lines of the fold so that way when we fold it up and get it closed, it will sit nice and flat with that interfacing in there. I am not going to be adding interfacing to mine. I feel like this is pretty sturdy. Like I said, this stuff's thick. So if you want to add interfacing, you are more than welcome to. If you want to add an inside pocket, you are kind of welcome to. The hard part is because we're not taking off the lining. If you try to put a pocket or something in it, you do have to take it off. Otherwise, you're going to see your stitches on the other side. So to make this super simple and easy, we're not putting any pockets in this. We are doing a pocket in the purse episode, not in the clutch. Again, make sure you have your piece of Obi that is 15 inches long, your ruler, and first we're going to do is do like we did last time. We're going to just iron that little fold edge over, under, inside of itself, like that. We're going to do that all the way around. And my luck, my iron's off. But it'll warm up quick. All right. That's what we tell ourselves. There we go. See, this is what happens when you don't have a big production team. Nobody tells you to do these things ahead of time. We can all let it warm up together. Yes. How's everybody doing today? Are you doing great? Good. That's awesome. Today's first day of school for my kids. One of them has just gotten home. I'm waiting for the other one to show up. And in true child fashion, how was your first day? Fine. Just fine. Well, that's how this works now, isn't it? No grandiose stories or anything. Just, it was fine. Obviously nothing terrible happened. And I didn't get a call from the school nurse. So I call it a successful first day. Better yet, the school nurse is actually my neighbor. How convenient. I already warned her that my son will be visiting several times. But we're going to take that and we're going to make sure we get that little fold inside the corner. And my corners are never perfect or straight, but I'm okay with that. I am. I really am, people. I know some people are like, I wonder if she fixes it. No, what you see is what you get. When I show you guys these final projects at the end, that's it. I'm not going back and fixing things. I am not doing a ton of takes. Actually, I don't think I've done any retakes, just in the editing. You're going to get some interesting messages. If you're watching this video, make sure you have already watched the cutting instruction video because that is before this video. You don't need to watch the laptop sleeve or any other ones, but you do need to watch the cutting instructions because it tells you how to cut this and get that measurement. Alright, we are all nice and ironed down here. And now we're going to take it over to the sewing machine for the next part. Ta-da! We are now at the sewing machine, which is a whole 1.5 feet away. So first step is to close off these edges. Now this one is closed. It was the other end of the Obi, but a lot of these are hand stitched down, so they're not super secure. Like it only takes one good tug, and I'm afraid if I'm opening and closing flaps, it's gonna rip open. So I am actually going to do a top stitch along the top, just to be careful. Like before, we're using our jean needle. I have a 40 weight cotton thread in here. But by all means, use what your machine loves. I probably would not use a lightweight thread. Just because you're going through some thick material, we want to make sure that it can handle the machine, or that the machine can handle going through it all. Alright, now this side. Stitch. I normally have music playing, but due to trademark and whatnot, I can't have music playing while I'm doing this. So you just gotta continue once again to listen to me go while I'm sewing. Oh, alright. This is the piece, right? So easy, simple. Now, if you are going to do a closure that has the Velcro, like we did with the other pieces. Oh, where did my numbers go? Oh, there it is. Now is the time that we add the Velcro, right? So the fold on this one is going to be 5.5 inches up. So we'd go right about there. Now, if you put a lining in it, now's the time where you're gonna like do a hard press here, then bring it into the sewing machine and sew that line. That's only if you put batting or something in it. No. And then you're gonna figure out where this fold is gonna be, iron it a fold into there, and then stitch this line just straight through. Very simple. And that will help the batting fold at the spots you want it to fold so that it stays closed properly. Alright, now if you are adding the Velcro, now's the time where you put the piece up here, right? Like we were doing before. You're gonna put your piece here, about the middle. I've got actually a line down the middle on this piece so I can see it. Sew it around, figure out where this flap reaches over, do the other piece, sew it around, like this, sew it around, and then you will sew up the sides. This one we are going to do a button snap button on it. So we are actually going to skip the Velcro step now, and we'll do the button snap after it's sewn together. What did I say this had to be at 5.5? Fold at 5. Fold at 5, Sarah. Fold at 5. Yes. Listen to what I say, not what I do. No, don't do either of those things. Make sure you just follow the directions and the numbers that I will have down below. So we're gonna do the same thing as before. These things are starting to be easy and easier, aren't they? Ah! I lost my thread. I did not like going through that. Oh, it's sticking something nice here. I'm gonna try this off and then back on thing. No. Oh, there it goes. It was caught. There we go. Now we're pulling nice. See, sometimes Jenny here, and she's called Jenny because she's a Janome. I was gonna call her Jane, but I felt like that was too on the nose. Alright. There we go. Back up. Did you do it again? Y'all, bear with me. I'll be back in a moment. I'm not entirely sure what her issue was, but she's working now. I just had to turn off the camera, rethread it, and now she's doing just fine, guys. Don't understand. You guys trying to go too fast and she didn't like it. Y'all never know. But that just means I got a lot of these extra strings I need to. There we go. Nobody saw that. Okay. Because I don't know what I do with my little scissors. They're around here somewhere. Ah! One of my notes. That's where they're at. Alright. That's folded. This is folded. Let's try this side. See if she gets angry at me this time. Next. stitch right in the corner. Well, it's just fine today, guys, ladies and gentlemen. I should just be a little sensitive. Look at that. Look at that. Just fine. Alrighty. Got that cut, that folded. Get these little pieces off. All your little strings. And look at that, we're almost done. Look at that, it's almost done. Next step is for me to get my snaps. One moment. Snappies! These are plastic snaps. They're nothing fancy. I got a huge pack of it on Amazon somewhere. You know what, I should probably put some links below to some of these items so that you guys can find it. You know what, I'm gonna do that. Hey, post-production Sarah, please make sure you put links in below for like the Velcro and the jean needles and all that fun stuff, okay? More than likely those will be affiliate links, just a heads up if that bothers you. Alright, so we got our little doodad. We got our buttons here. We're gonna go and we have our owl. Owl? What is this thing called? The really sharp pointy thing. It's not one of these things where it helps you walk through. This is very, very sharp. This is much sharper than the one I use when I'm sewing to like hold my piece down when I get really close, although I just use my fingers. Now in here, there's a lot of different options of buttons. There's like a lot of different shapes and sizes. There's actually 3 different shapes and sizes. You need 2 of them that have this little pointy piece on it. So 1, 2, maybe more because you tend to mess up. I always do. And then 2 of the other pieces. So that's probably the hardest part is me figuring out the other pieces because they all look the same to me. Oh, I think my daughter's school bus just went by. So I only have the 2 other pieces. One's an innie and one's an outie. Sorry, I pointed that backwards. One's an outie and one's an innie. Yeah, daughter's school bus just went by. She will be home soon. Probably gonna have to pause this, go deal with teenage angst, and then come back. We'll see. So again, we're gonna find the middle. How do we find the middle? There, that's the middle. I mean, if it really bothers you, this thing's 12 inches wide. So I'm gonna go to 6. All right, about there is where I'm gonna put it. I like to put it right in this black area, and I chose the black button so it disappears. If you want it to be an accent, by all means choose a different color button, one that you think is fun. There is a little bit of blue in this fabric in some spots, but not enough for me to want to use a blue. There's this really pretty orange in this fabric, but I don't think I have an orange that looks good with it. So I am going to go with a black one. Now you poke a hole through. Careful you don't stab yourself. Now also when you're poking this hole through, make sure you are below the hem. So I can feel in here where those layers end. So the layers fold over to right about here where my thumbnail is. And I'm poking the hole below that. Now a lot of these things don't go through multiple layers of fabric, and these are very thick pieces of fabric. I also did not buy the most expensive buttonhole thingy, you know what I mean? So take the pointed one on the pretty side and poke it through. Now that you've made a nice hole, hopefully. There we go. Make sure you push it in really well so it like kind of sticks up. See? Now take one of the others, either the innie or the outie, it's up to you. And you'll see the right side and the wrong side. When you look at it, put wrong side down. This one's the innie that I grabbed. Alright? Easy, easy. There's 2 pieces of this, the black piece and the white piece. You want the black piece to go on the flat side because there's like a divot in it for it to fit in. So that where the divot is where the piece goes. Yep, it's in there. And then this clear part pushes down onto the spike, and what it does is it squishes the spike around the hole to hopefully hold it in, and I didn't press down hard enough. I can tell it's there. It's just not feeling very tight to me. So I'm gonna squeeze it in there. There we go. So now it is on there pretty darn tight. If this concerns you and you're like, I don't know, what I did with one of them is I put some glue in there to kind of extra hold it. I would probably not use the craft glue because it's plastic. Maybe more of like a super glue dot or something, just to make yourself feel better. But I haven't had any issues as long as you don't go through the seam. So this one, the seam goes all the way down to here, so I know I need to put the button past here. But when I fold this over where I want it, I know the button is actually way down here. So I'm going to take the AWL, however you want to pronounce it, and I'm going to poke it all the way through. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Make sure the hole's the right size. Now, pointy part is going to press from the back side. So the pointy one is going to go flat that way to the front. Okay? So the pointy part sticks out the front now. Last time the pointy part stuck through the lining. Now the pointy part is sticking through the nice fabric. And then I'm going to put the outie on properly. And I'm going to kind of make sure he is in there. Now when I close my finger on this, you should be able to feel the point. If you can't feel that stabby thing, then you need to push it in more. Because otherwise, if the stabby part doesn't stick out, it won't flatten enough to cause the button to hold. And I think this one's a little more harder because you got extra fabric in there. But I don't think it's that easy to put in. And this normally takes me like 5 or 6 tries. That's probably the first time I put it on and the pieces didn't fall apart and fall over the floor or anything. Alright, but I think we got it, guys. There we go. Now the test. Will it come apart? No, it stayed! Oh man, did you see how scared I was when I did that? Oh, alright. So, at this point, you can be done. You can be like, I'm happy with this. It's done. Or you can add your little piece of bling to it. I'm going to add my little piece of bling to it because I really like adding the little bling to it. So I'm going to take my fabric glue, and like I said, you can glue these on, you can sew them on, you can get a button, you can get a knick-knack. I don't really care how you want to do your closures. You can actually use, instead of a button, you can use like an actual closure that you sew on. It's up to you guys. This is your bag. Close it however you want. Alright, now I'm going to take it, flip it upside down, center it right about that button, and press it down. And then I'm going to get my little clippies. Well, I see kids walking by. It means my daughter's going to be coming home any moment now. Let me hurry up and finish this before she runs into the door yelling. So, that will be on. I will show you that later. I do need to show you the finished tablet sleeve from last time. So, this is Dunsies. Isn't that cute? I think that one turned out really good once I cut it down, because I think it was way too big originally. But, tablet sleeve, completely done. Laptop sleeve, done. Clutch, almost done. We're just going to let it dry. I will show you this after I show you how to do the, we're going to do the art next. Alright, we're only going to do the square art this time. I need to get more supplies to be able to do the purse. I'm out of handles. So, once I get those supplies, I can show you the purse. So the next thing we're going to do is the square art. So please stay tuned. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you're learning something. If not, I hope you're at the very least entertained by me. I mean, I don't ask for much, and I just heard the front door shut. So I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!